All right. Thanks for watching. I'm jumping on here today. Those of you are on live, and for those watching this recording, I do appreciate it. And we're going to do this in three sections as we've been doing it. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about what MintBuilder is here for, because that's important, you know, just to know what it's all about. Then we're going to talk about the transition to comp plan, which is super exciting. And then the third section is going to be all Q&A. So warm up for some good questions. And it seems like we've been getting less and less questions because as we go through this, I've kind of been addressing some of the main things that we get asked. So, but anyway, make sure to type them in here, or you can unmute, whatever you're most comfortable with. That's totally up to you. All right. Okay, so let's get rolling here. So what is it that Mint Builder is here for, right? That's the main thing we're all talking about. We started Mint Builder, quite some time ago. We transitioned in 2017, but really been doing this since 2007. And the reason we started Mint Builder in the first place was because we just don't save and preserve our wealth like we used to do, and that, again, I've talked about this numerous times on here. Some of you maybe heard it already, but I think it's so important to drive home the fact that, our parents and my generation, my parents' generation didn't really, not really save, but then maybe my grandparents' generation did because they were, the World War II, coming into that Depression era, where they realized in a very harsh way, how important savings is. But it was different for them because their money was actually money. It was backed by precious metals, something we've used as money for thousands of years. Now, today it's different, but I still think it's important to save. I just think we have to do it differently. We need to transition our mindset from, saving and trying to save in the bank or, save cash at home, whatever it may be in that aspect, because when you do that, you're losing money. But I do know that the fact is we have to have that there because if we don't have a savings to fall back on, then we're in big trouble. When things are going to come up, Murphy's Law, you're going to have things pop up, whether your car breaks down or there's some kind of medical emergency or, time off work, whatever it may be, we can't just only be living paycheck to paycheck. And there's different ways to get around that. But initially, at the beginning, we have to have some kind of a savings. And my biggest flaw back in the day, early 2000s, late 90s, was to think that, I'll do that once I start earning more, then I'll start saving. But it doesn't happen. You earn more, you spend more. Does your earning even keep up with inflation? That's the question. Most likely not. Inflation isn't really, 5 or 6%. It's more like 15 to 20%. When you take into real account, they change. When I say they, I'm not talking about like, the number crunchers in our government. They take a basket of goods and services and they compare the pricing to see what inflation is. So if those basket of goods and services, used to be the same ones at all time, they used to always be the same. All of a sudden, I don't know what year it was exactly, but I think it was somewhere around 10 years ago or 12 years ago, something like that. They changed it so that they could manipulate and take certain things out of that basket and put other things in there. And of course, when you do that, now you can fudge the numbers around just a little bit, and so then it makes it look like inflation is lower. Like maybe some appliances that we use are staying the same price, they're not going up, but meantime, the price of gas or food is doubled or tripled, but then they take that out of the basket and they put something else in there. So, long story short, we can't sit there on cash and think that, inflation is low right now or it's whatever. It's going to kill us to do that financially. We have to change our mindset of how we're going to save. Now, the first thing we have to do is put away some kind of an emergency fund. That just helps us sleep better at night knowing that, if something does happen, we can, get by for a couple weeks. What is an emergency fund? Well, that's different for everybody. Me personally, I like to have at least a month's worth of income of something put away where I can easily access it if I need to. That helps me feel better, because I know in 1 month's worth of income can take care of, I'm good for a month. I'm not going to be struggling if all of a sudden, I need new tires in my car or something, like that happens. Now, how can we expedite it? We're talking about not saving cash, right? Here is one example. There's many different kinds of assets, but I believe the way to save properly is to save assets. Now, the easiest, most reliable, the one that's been used the longest in all of history, like 5,000 plus years, is precious metals. And I believe that is the vehicle to use. But there are other ones. You can, people use crypto nowadays as a pretty common asset. There's a lot of other things too, but it has to be something. You just have to make sure, that it's something that you can easily turn into a form of currency to be able to utilize it if you need it. That's the whole point, right? And so our dollar again is not that tool, unfortunately. It's not. Now the things might change. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the purchasing power of the dollar is fell to it's about 1.5 cents of what it used to be about 100 years ago. Kind of when the Federal Reserve was created, that's when we jumped off the cliff here with with the value of our dollar. And then kind of went from there. Now, little known fact, don't just take my word for it. This is what's happening right now. The banks around the world, like big ones like Chase and Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and some large European banks, they are buying precious metals, physical precious metals. JP Morgan owns almost 750 million ounces of silver. Actually got in trouble doing this a few years back when they kind of, cornered the market a little bit on it. But they were fine to pay the fines on that because, they ended up coming out way more ahead than what the fines were. Now, this part of it is important to note because we used to know the banks were a place where we could go exchange our currency, our paper cash in, and go to the bank and get our gold and silver. That was how the system used to work. It doesn't work that way. If you go to the bank teller now and you try to bring them some silver eagles and you tell them some cash and you want some silver eagles, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Because they don't know, the people that work there don't know about that. That's how it used to be, and that the banks used to be the place to hold the precious metals, so you can easily make transactions with cash instead of trying to carry around silver and gold. And it isn't that way anymore. But the banks know, the bank owners, this is a for-profit business. And they know what they're doing. They're buying precious metals themselves, but they're not promoting it to us. They're promoting to us, loans and cash. And when I say cash or currency, I'm talking not only about paper, I'm talking about ones and zeros on credit cards and debit cards, same thing. All of that is related to the same kind of concept. And now it's not just these big banks that are buying precious metals. It's also their boss, the one who oversees them, the central banks. We call ours the Federal Reserve here in the United States. They're overseeing, these big bank corporations, but they're doing the same thing. They're buying precious metals. For example, the central bank system now owns 25% of all of the gold that's obtainable at this point that we can have our hands on. They own 25%. That's 1.15 billion ounces with a B. And they do this because there's a purpose. Now, they're not just doing it forever. Does the central bank always keep buying? Right now, they're buying record amounts. Over the last 3 years, they've been buying record amounts, more than they've ever bought in history. Is it something that they always do? The answer is no. And I get asked this a lot too. Should I be getting silver and gold, or should I be saving forever and ever until I die and take it with me? And the answer is no. There's times to buy and times to sell. Portions. I think you should keep some at all times, but that's just my opinion. But I know that this is what the central banks do, and so I kind of want to mimic what they do, because who is more successful in kind of manipulating the financial system into making sure that they're profitable? That is them, right? So they're not, a central bank is not a bank. The Federal Reserve is not federal. They're just private entities. They're for profit. And what they're doing is they're protecting themselves to make sure they're positioned properly. And why are they doing that? That's the question. So when they're saving this gold, which, by the way, even if they didn't own any gold, there wouldn't even be enough for every single person to own an ounce of gold. Not even enough for 1 ounce. And now that the central bank owns 25%, there's not even enough for us to basically own about a half of an ounce each. That's it. So it's time for us to grab some of that while we can, before it does go to the moon. That's what people are kind of jokingly saying. But I don't think we're anywhere near the top end of this spectrum at this point. Where it's going to go. But now back to what I was saying about the central banks, always buying gold. Okay, so that fact is that they don't. if you go back, I can't remember the exact years, but there was a big drop in their holdings. And so what they're doing is what we should be doing, and that is looking at when is it time to buy and when is it time to sell. Warren Buffett talks about this, and he's like, when everybody's running to go buy, that's when you sell, and when everybody's running to, panically selling off, that's when you buy. I know it's oversimplified, but it is the truth, and this is what they do. So it's kind of interesting. You can actually see, I believe you can Google and find out what is the holdings of gold that the central bank has. And you can look over the history and see when they're selling off lots of it and when they're buying it. Right now, over the last few years, they've been buying it like crazy. And so I think, it's kind of an indicator for us to look at that. And when you do already have some saved, I know some people on here probably are listening to this, watching this, they have already precious metals saved, which is great. There's going to be a time where it might be beneficial to sell some of it, and that's, when it goes up really high and you have lots of people looking to buy it, it's not hard to sell. So why are they moving so heavily into precious metals? And it's because they know that all the world's fiat currencies, like the euro, the yen, the US dollar, the pound, are changing. They are changing. They have to. And why do they have to change? And it has really almost wholly has to do with their debt. Now, the US dollar's debt, one example is, that we are in $37 trillion in debt, and that's not real numbers. Real numbers is actually 252 trillion because we have unfunded liabilities. If you owe somebody something, in the future, it should be counted in your books as debt because you have to pay it back. Well, you don't have to. You can do one other thing. You can file bankruptcy. Well, that's kind of why I think that our currency has to change, because our currency is, in bankruptcy state, basically. It doesn't really have much hope in any other direction. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that the whole country's going bankrupt? No. What it means is we're probably going to have a reevaluation of what our currency is. What is our money? What is it? What does it look like? And it'll change in a system. And so and it may sound foreign to people, and they're like, you're crazy. There's no way there. What are we going to do? Have these weird looking Ameros? Remember when they were talking about doing those? No, it doesn't mean that. It could happen, but what it can do, it's already done this. It's over the last 100 years, our currency has changed a few times, completely changed. And, here in America, in the United States, most people don't even know that happened. We're just blind to it. We're not really kept privy to the information, so you have to find out yourself. And I'm not someone who looks into conspiracy stuff and all that garbage, and I don't say garbage in a way of like, okay, well, it's all false information, because it's not. It's mostly there's a lot of true information about it. But what is it you're going to do with this information? That's what's important. I'm not someone who wants to just sit back and be a critical thinker just to only be a negative thinker. I want to be a critical thinker and then do something with the information, to make it so that my sphere of influence, who I'm around, can benefit from it. And that's what I think will help all of us if we can think that way. Now, what are we going to do with the U.S. dollar? I mean, it's up in the air, right? I've heard different rumors of, we could have dollars that are partially backed by gold. We could have some kind of a cryptocurrency that's, backed by gold. And there's like a current theme going there where backed by gold. So I don't know. I'm just saying, we don't know that for sure. But what I do know is that gold and silver have been considered money, wealth, for thousands of years. I don't think it's going anywhere because there's a finite amount of it. No one's figured it out yet. They thought, in the dark ages, they thought they figured out how to create gold, but it didn't work out. So at this point right now, it's cash ain't king, gold and silver are king. That's where the wealth should be held at. Now, this debt is, we're paying interest on, about $1 billion interest. And it's, our GDP is really the wealth of any country. And here in the United States, it's about 28 trillion. But our debt, even this does not even include the unfunded liabilities. Let's just talk about just plain out debt. It's 37 trillion. That means we're overspending 32% a year. which I don't know about you. If you were doing that in your household, you're going to be bankrupt after a few years, I would think. You can probably keep taking more loans, but then you're paying more and more interest and you're just digging yourself deeper in. You can't really dig yourself out of a hole. So that is going to be a place that's inevitable in the future. And something has to totally change. And I think that's where we're at. Now, when it comes to figuring out, what is value, what is not value, and just to kind of drive home the understanding that our U.S. dollar is not an actual asset. It's not something to hold your wealth in. Again, think of it as like a current in a river. If the river is flowing, it has a current. Faster it flows, it kind of keeps things clean and good, and it's perfectly fine. You shut off that flow, and that water is going to get stagnant. Things will die and there's no good anymore. And even more of a better comparison, I think, is your currency. I mean, your current in your house. That's your electricity. You got to charge your phone. You can watch TV. We're on a computer, internet. All that stuff has to run through your electricity, which is what? A current. That is how the 0.1% of the wealthy in the world, they know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my currency. I'm supposed to flow it. It's got to keep going, moving. If it stops, it's going to go stagnant. It's going to become worthless. So we can't let that happen in our household. Nobody's going to be really looking out for us. We can't count on, government decisions or whatever for our benefit. Hopefully we're in the best interest, but we have to be in our own best interest again, our family and our sphere of influence. That's our responsibility. And I think once we take that matter in our own hands, we can do good with it. And so I want to do what the 0.1% are doing with their finances, not everything in their lives, but in the financial realm. And it's kind of something that, my parents didn't understand and their parents didn't. I wasn't taught in school anything about finances. I honestly think that our school system, it'd be so awesome if they would spend, even if it's 1% of their 12, 13 years or whatever in basic education to learn some real financial stuff would be so awesome. But unfortunately, it isn't. So what we have to do is figure out what is it that the top 0.1% do with their money. And I'm telling you, Elon Musk, being whatever worth 250 billion or 300 billion, whatever it is, he doesn't have hardly any of that in cash. He's not going to say, "Oh yeah, I got $1 billion in cash right now." What do you would? No, it's stored in assets, whether it's businesses or other assets or investments or savings, things like that that are not in cash. They understand that when they do, it's dead. It's dying off 15 to 20% a year, just dying off. And so it's just an absolute waste. So here's why I'm going to just show you this and drive it home. We created this thing called the fair price pendulum. And on this fair price pendulum, it's going to show you what true value is of stuff, right? So, if something you're trying to buy is going to be in the fair price according to this formula, it should be at 100%. That's like the perfect buying, or the place where the right value for buying and selling all should be in that margin, very marginal error right there. It should be right there. Now, when it comes to buying a house, let's use that as an example here. You can do this with anything: buying a car, buying groceries, buying S&P 500, Dow Jones. You can do it with anything, and you're going to find out if it's overvalued or undervalued. Now, we compare everything to the dollar or the euro or the pound, our currency, the world currencies. We compare it. It's just how we were taught to do it. And so we look at housing, especially like I'm down here in Florida, and I know in the last few years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, housing has more than doubled in price. And so this is what we're seeing. But let me just show you an example. So when you're buying a house, the median price house, so around the country, whatever the median price house would be, if you're taking that into account and you're taking the median household income, it takes about 4 years if you're able to save every penny of your household income to pay cash for a house, right? Okay, but right now it takes about almost 6 years of income. So it looks like, man, housing has gotten out of control, and it's up 40% over what it should be. But that's because we're comparing it to the dollar. Now, the dollar is the real culprit, not the housing market. And why do I say this? Because check this out. It used to be, not used to be, it's supposed to be about 278 ounces of gold to buy the median priced house. So if you were saving your money instead of putting every penny away in cash and then losing 40% of the value to try to buy a house, which means that if you saved 100% of the house, you actually only have 60% of it to build to put down, and now you lost 40%. So now you need to save 140% of the price of the house in cash to buy the house. But if you would have saved 100% of the gold, that's 278 ounces. Instead, if you would have been buying that and saving it, you would have bought your house for 193 ounces. Actually, it's about 188 ounces now of gold. And guess what? You would have nearly 90 ounces of gold left over. That would have saved you 30%. So you would have got 30% discount on your house. So is the housing market really overvalued? That's a question mark right there. Is it really overvalued? I don't know, speculative. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you're looking at it when you compare it to gold, and you look at it when you compare it to the dollar. And silver is kind of similar to gold as well. And the same with when you're looking at buying a car, when you're looking at buying groceries, when you're looking at buying gas. I know we have to have cash. I'm not ignorant. I know we have to have cash to buy these things. But what if you're saving in precious metals and you're keeping it safe that way for the things you want to invest in? Like if you are trying to buy a new car, or you want to actually, buy some real estate to have it as an investment, whether rental or flipping it or whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to invest into. What if you first save the money in precious metals and then you sell the precious metals and then you take that cash really quick? Again, it's a live current. You need to keep that currency on that current. You get it into cash and then you move it out into something else. What if you did that? This scenario right here shows you that you would have been, what is that? 30 undervalue and 40 overvalue. So that's a 70% swing in how much better off you would have been with one simple move. And that would be to have bought this investment with saving in gold instead of cash. So it's really that simple. I think it's that simple. Now, what we do out here at Mint Builder is we're trying to help people get back onto the savings program. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we're trying to help people, get to where they are building up wealth and preserving wealth, and in kind of getting ahead in that direction. So we can do, I talk about like my grandparents. They were able to pay cash for a house, or at least put like at least 25% down was minimum. They were able to pay cash for new cars and stuff like that back in that era, and this is why, because they saved but they were saving with their money was actually backed by gold, so it was actual real money. And so now we have to save in the same way, so we can also get ahead and have that little bit easier life to live, and we're not struggling every time to make ends meet. And again, precious metals is not an investment. I don't look at it as an investment. I look at it as buying precious metals as a savings tool. It's an asset that you save. You don't earn dividends and interest. You're just protecting yourself from that silent thief that's called inflation that steals from you, and you don't even know it's stealing from you. It might even look like you're earning 0.1% in your savings account, but really you're losing 15%. So it's that silent thief. And this is what we want to do here at MintBuilder, is protect you from that. And we want to get you access to precious metals at more like wholesale pricing. So we created something called the VIP wholesale membership. And so what it's going to do is it's going to give you 25% off of the premiums on precious metal subscriptions. So you're saving assets each month. That's a great tool for saving. It's also going to give you 25% off of shop premiums. Anything in this shop you want to purchase. We have numismatics and we have bullion. So we got all of that, and wearable wealth as well. And then it's going to give you 75% off of metal storage. There's a lot of people that just don't like to physically hold their metals at home. They feel like it's not, they don't feel safe about that. And then, another half of the people feel only safe if they get to hold it. So it's all opinion, however you feel the best about it. We partnered with IDS of Delaware, one of the most secure and best storage facilities in the United States. They're insured by Lloyd's of London, third-party audited, and one of the most trusted. They have one in Texas, one in Delaware, and one in Canada. We do the storage of your metals, and if you want to store metals in IDS of Delaware. Now we have something else I'll talk about in a second that we use their Texas storage vault for. Also, your VIP membership helps feed a starving child. We partnered like 15 years ago with Feed My Starving Children. I've helped package food for them. Just awesome organization. 91 cents out of every dollar that gets donated to them goes directly to the food because they have so much volunteer service. Delivery is volunteer, packaging meals is volunteer. It's amazing. This company, they've gotten into over 100 countries. The United States is even on it. It's not just third world countries. And they're just a really great organization, and you get to help, feel good knowing you're feeding children just by, having a VIP membership and helping yourself, get ahead on precious metals. So it's a good feeling to know that. Also, we're working on right now bolstering a precious metals knowledge base. That's where you have like, FAQs, you have training on understanding education of precious metals and blogs and write-ups, all this kind of stuff. We have access to that as well as a member. And then the other thing I was going to tell you about, the wholesale access to Mint Wallet. Mint Wallet it's digitally traded precious metals, silver and gold. You buy it with the push of a button on a smartphone anywhere. It's really nice and convenient. So it's all digitally done, except it's physically backed. And so IDS has a special vault in Texas where they have very large gold and silver bars, and you basically are owning a portion of that big bar. So imagine a huge, giant block of gold. You can buy gold as small as 1/100th of an ounce. So you actually own a tiny piece of real estate in that, and it makes it affordable for you. So if you want gold, you can, it makes it a little bit easier to obtain. So it's cool to have that. If you want to get it physically delivered, you simply sell your holdings and the money goes into your cash wallet. You use the cash wallet in the shop to get physical metals delivered to you. It's pretty easy, straightforward. Now, just having different benefits here at MintBuilder is pretty awesome. And now the big push why we're doing these meetings so often right now is because we only have 8 days left. I mean, oh my gosh, we're almost in the last week. And that is for what? To save 50% forever on the VIP memberships. This is huge. We've never done anything like this before. We've dropped VIP memberships. They used to be about $80. And we're just saying, you know what? The more members we get, the more affordable we can make it. We just have to cover company overhead. Then we pass the savings on to our members. So with this special thing, though, this is a way, way, way below. And this 50% savings is forever, though, if you lock in before the end of February. We're at February 20th right now. So we're at 8 days left. There's only 8 days in February, or 28 days in February. So here it is. You can get into the monthly for only $19.95. And then you can get into the annual one for $149.95. And then you have the lifetime for $499.95. Now, the lifetime one is limited. I think we're only down to, I think we only have like a dozen of those left, I think, at this point. And we had to limit the 50% savings in a lifetime because there is a lot of expense in running these memberships. So, we had to put a limit on how many we can do 50% off on those. So you can jump on. And I recommend, if you're going to be saving precious metals for at least 2 years, that one is, doing the lifetime is going to pay off dividend. It's going to pay off huge for you to do it. It's going to be way, way cheaper. If you're planning on saving for at least 6 or 7 months, then the annual membership would be best for you. And if you're not planning on going more than a year, then that would probably be the best option. And if you're, planning on only just saving for like a month or 2 months or 3 months, then the monthly might be the best one. But like I said, anyone doing, planning on continuing their savings efforts for 2 years or more, lifetime is by far the best one to do. Now, I want to take you over to the MintBuilder site, the new one, and it's called MB Bullion. And people ask, this is one question we get asked a lot, is do we get bought out? Do we have a new partnership? What's going on with it? No, MB stands for MintBuilder. So MintBuilder Bullion. MB Bullion, we just know that for SEO purposes, that it just is a better verbiage for pulling people into the savings program here at MintBuilder. So we threw bullion into the name, and we think that's a good branding. We want it to be more about the precious metal side. Now, bullion is important, but a lot of people do like collectibles too. We have those as well, but bullion is, kind of front and center for most people. So that's what we've done there. So let's jump onto the site here. I'm showing you what it looks like. And what you're going to do is you're going to go over to mbullion.com. You're going to go over top right here, click on VIP membership. It's going to open up a page like this. You can choose monthly, annual, or lifetime, depending on the time frame I was just talking about. You're going to add it to cart, and then you're going to go back over here to subscriptions, and you open up subscriptions. You're going to choose from all the different subscription options of gold and silver, different increments. You can change it any time you want. You can get gold one month and silver the next, and you can add whatever quantities you want. And then you put that in the cart as well. Then you check out. When you're done checking out, you're going to be able to log into your account. And from here, what you're going to want to do, so, I say to get with your sponsor with the old site and see if they have a link. And if they don't, I would just go ahead and get your position taken care of. We can always, admin here is on overdrive trying to, always read every day, going through and connecting the proper people with their sponsor, and all this kind of stuff. But I would first ask them, and if they don't have your sponsor doesn't have a link already, then just go ahead and, get your position set up, and then we can make sure that once they do, we'll get you connected. And then that way, what you can do is you can go down here and click on Refer and Earn in your back office. Now it's going to open up your affiliate back office, and then you click on affiliate URLs, and it's going to open up right here. And here is your URL. You're going to copy that link, and you're going to give that to all of your personals from the old website. Text them, call them, email them, whatever's the best way. Put it on social media. Get them to come over through your link, so that way they go directly and they're accredited to you. So that's pretty cool feature to have there. As underneath here is you can generate your own URLs right down here. But when you do this, you have to actually go to a web page on the site. Like, let's say put the VIP membership page on there and then paste it right here, and then it's going to generate that, so that whenever someone goes directly to that page, you're still getting credited for it. If you want to promote like the Silver Eagle or something, just click on the Silver Eagle page, copy that link, again, paste it in here. That's how you do it. But this is most important right here. This is your referral URL that you're going to want to get to your entire team. So we also have the highest paying Refer and Earn affiliate program, I believe. So what we're doing is we transitioned away from the MLM industry. You're going to see, you might be surprised to see some of the big names in this year, 2025, maybe early 2026. You're going to see some companies that have done and are doing over $1 billion in revenue, transitioning away from the MLM. It's just kind of an old model. It was cool in its heyday, from like, the 60s and all the way into the early 2000s maybe. But it's kind of dwindled in popularity, and people are like, it's especially newer generations are like, what kind of is a Ponzi scheme? It's not. Most of them are legit. It just has a negative connotation to it. So really, even if you're just here as a customer and you're wanting to buy precious metals, it's word of mouth is still very important to us. And what we do here at MintBuilder, we have two sides of the coin. The front side, the most important for us, is to get people saving precious metals. So they're having that assets put away, and they're just like, bolstering their wealth. And then second most important thing is we have to, get it out there to people so they even know about it. And so how we do that is we could go ahead and, pay, Google ads and Facebook ads and all the big corporations. We can give them all the marketing budget. But we decided that, I believe word of mouth is more powerful. And also we think that a lot of people, would like to earn some extra income. Now, if you're not really, a full-time affiliate marketer, that's okay. Most people aren't. But, you might have friends and family that could also benefit from precious metals. And so we said, if you just tell them about it, and they happen to buy some products and they want to also be on a membership and, and save, then we're going to pay you some money for it. So you don't have to be a full-time affiliate kind of person to be able to benefit from this. And it's okay if you don't want to tell anybody about it either. You're saving precious metals and you're doing it privately. That's okay too. But we just wanted to make sure that everybody understands it. So it's kind of like Amazon, they have an affiliate program and that's how they operate. And that's what you get to operate. You don't have to inventory new products. You don't have to go around door to door or you call people and you don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. It literally you just word of mouth and refer and earn. And it's really simple like that. You're not building a network, a team. You don't have to keep track anymore of what's happening, doing trainings 5 levels down, all this kind of stuff that was kind of a thing of the past. So it's really awesome. Um, and then kind of go from there. So I want to show you how it works. So now with this new affiliate program, you are you're starting out at the first level, which is copper. And then there's 8 levels of transition to go through, and it's really straightforward and simple. You're earning MintBuilder points, okay, MVPs. You only have to learn 2 acronyms. That's it. And the whole goal to make someone successful is to make it simple and as simple as possible without oversimplifying it. You got MVPs, MintBuilder points, LCEs, lifetime commissions earned. It just like it sounds. If you earned $100 this month, and then next month you earn $100, that's 200, and then the third month you earn another 100. Now you're at 300. It's compounding. So that's what lifetime commissions earned is. That's going to determine your rank, and your rank is going to determine how much money, how much commissions you're going to earn from your MintBuilder points. Every product that's commissionable, which is pretty much every product, has points associated with it. And I'm going to show you just right now the VIP wholesale membership, those points, because these are subscription based. So if somebody is on the monthly one, that's 20 MintBuilder points. If they're on the annual, it's 150 MintBuilder points. And if they're doing a lifetime, it's 300 MintBuilder points. And you're going to earn a percentage of them based on your rank. And your rank is going to go up based on how much commission you keep earning and earning, and it keeps building and building. All right, so here's how it works. Copper is the first rank. You're going to earn 15% of these MintBuilder points. So on the old website, you were making $3.90 a month, but that was for a $39 membership. Right now it's only $20, and so you're earning almost the same amount with half of the cost of the membership. So it's way more powerful now because we're taking the commissions from all the levels and we're bolstering it up into the front level because now it's all just front line, nice and simple, straight line. You refer, you earn, and that's all you have to worry about. Now, the lifetime, though, you're earning $45. So that $45 is going towards your lifetime commissions. So that's going to go right here. So your LCE will be 45 if you refer just one of these. And you got to remember the people who are buying these memberships that you refer, they're more than likely also getting set up on subscriptions, with assets like silver and gold. And that means those are monthly reoccurring. So you're going to add the commissions you make from those also to your LCE. Also, when they go in the shop and they buy some metal products or numismatics or what bullion, whatever it may be, that's also going to add to your LCE. So you might make one referral and your LCE is going to go up every single month. That's very likely. Now, bronze is the next one. We made it pretty simple to get to. We know a lot of people coming over will achieve this their first day, maybe their first hour. And so that's going to bump you up 5% more in earnings. Now you're going to be earning 20%, and now you're earning more already than on the old website where you're making $3.90 a month for a $40 membership. Now, this is what you're going to be off of $20, you're going to be earning it. So, all right. Next one, silver, 25%. Now it's going up pretty consistently. This is a very achievable level. I know we'll have some people hitting this in their first weeks into this transition easily. And then we have gold, 30%. You're earning of all the points. We get into some leadership. I call these leadership ranks here. Platinum, it doesn't have to be a full-time gig to be able to get to this level of platinum. Because again, it's compounding. So even if it takes you more than a year, that's fine, or a couple of years is fine. It's always compounding. You're always going up. You're never going backwards. No points are flushing. No points are disappearing. Or points rather, your LCEs. You can't, because there is no points. It says LCEs, right? It's your commissions. You can't lose commissions. You've made them. You already made them. They're there. They could stay the same if all of a sudden you have no customers buying anything anymore, no subscriptions, then I guess they would stay the same. But more than likely, they're going to continue to add on from the next month. So whatever you make the first month, in commissions. That's added to whatever you make the second month, and then whatever you make the third month, the first and second month are added to the third month, and so it compounds, and you're going to keep going up and up. So 35% is pretty huge. Now you're earning over $100 every time you refer a lifetime membership. So that 100 is going to add up really quickly into your LCEs. And then you're going to get into Diamond at 40%. And now we're going to go into elite leadership levels. I would call, some people that are doing this as a full-time income might achieve this in a year or so. It's quite possible, for someone to make 200,000 in commissions. Definitely doable for some people that know what, like to do the marketing side of things. This is huge when you get to here, because now you're earning in a profit sharing pool. You're going to earn one share of that pool. That's paid out not quarterly, it's paid out monthly. And then our highest level is Sapphire. That's earning 50% of all the points. So every time you refer a lifetime membership, you're earning $150. That's so big. Now, what is this sharing pool I was talking about? What we're doing here at MintBuilder is we're taking 5% of all of the commissions paid out globally, and we're matching it and sticking it into a pool, and you're going to earn 1 or 2 shares depending on your rank of that pool. That's pretty powerful stuff. That could be a huge income for some people every single month, a nice big bonus that you're going to get on a monthly basis. And now I want to show you, it's not just on the VIP memberships that you're earning points. Here's a 10-ounce silver bar. You're earning 15 to 50% depending on your affiliate level. Right down here is where you're going to find the points. In every single product on our entire website, you just go under the description down here in the bottom left corner. You're going to see, MintBuilder points, and it can go out as far as 2 points past the decimal. Basically representing like 33 and 20 cents or whatever. But these are the points that you're going to see. And for a retail customer, it doesn't mean anything to them. It might be a SKU number or something. They don't know what it means. But to anyone who's on the affiliate side, it's very obvious what amount you're going to earn from this. And we want it to be so transparent and super, super easy, right, to understand. And again, the more simple you can make something, the more successful your potential is. And this is so simple, but so powerful. You're going to earn between $5 and $16 from the sale of this bar. Let's just say you're platinum, just to give you an example. You're 35% times the MintBuilder points. So how you do that? Percent, you just move the decimal point over. So it's 0.35 times the MintBuilder points, 33.2, and you're earning $11.62 when someone buys this 10-ounce silver bar. It doesn't matter if the silver bars, drops down in price or goes way up in price. The points are the points. So the points are pretty steady. It's not going to be a change that will, be made very often. It would have to be some crazy stuff that happens, like premiums would have to really dramatically change before that would change. So that's pretty much it. Now your commissions you can use towards, buying precious metals. When you sell something, the commissions are automatically right away put into your account, and you can right away go to your shop and use those. The only way they would be held up is if someone's paying with Bitcoin or, some kind of BitPay with crypto, or if they're paying with a paper check or they're doing a wire transfer. Those have to be manually approved. But other than that, if someone's paying with a credit card, it's instant into your account. Now you can also cash out, withdraw the funds to your bank. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty awesome. The main thing is to, please don't wait, and go over to the mbullion.com and get yourself set up on the VIP membership right away. Pick annual, monthly, annual, or lifetime, whatever suits you best. And then make sure to go over to the subscriptions before you finish checking out. Get your subscription and then go from there, okay? I'll quickly take you over to the website just to kind of show you a little bit more live. So here we are live, 8 days, 8 hours left, 13 minutes. I mean, this is ticking down fast. And I just want to let's go over the shop. I love the new website, super smooth transition in here, and just a lot more user plug and play friendly. The reason we moved over was because of the clicking too many things at once. I have too many pages open. The reason we switched over was because we went from a custom coded website, a fully custom coded website where every single thing was, intertwined into each other, to a website to now it's more plug and play friendly. And that's what we want. We want something that's just, more user friendly, and it can be used. We can include other apps on it now, and like we're looking in the future for some fun stuff, like maybe having an auction where you can list your products on there and sell in an auction format, and having all just different kinds of things you can plug in now, and it makes it so much more user friendly. So we're absolutely loving it. Now let's go over. Let me grab 10-gram gold bars are super popular on here. I'm just going to show you. So here we go. You're on the 10-gram gold bar site. Go down here. There it is, 34 MBP. You're going to find some products in the shop that have hundreds of MBP. Some things have more margins in it, and it could be, like, jewelry items, numismatic coins. Those have a lot more. But if you're earning, 25, you're at the silver level and you're earning 25%, that you're earning, what is that, 850, you're going to get paid for selling them. So it's a cool thing to know and understand how easy it is. Now, with that, I'm going to go ahead and go into answering the questions side here for you guys. So if you guys have questions, please ask them on here. So I have already, yes, this is being recorded. We'll be sending this out in an email with our next email. One question we get asked all the time is, what about on the old site if I have Mint Wallet over there and I have commissions over there? Don't worry. We are, again, our admin team is full blast here, getting the stuff transferred over to your new account. The My Mint Wallet is what I meant to say. The Mint Wallet, that's mostly all been transferred over. The commissions are next in the process. Those are being transferred over as well. So that is an ongoing. It's a lot of work on the back end, but we're taking care of that for you. So that part's all rocking and rolling. Any other questions you guys have while you got me on here? I'll be happy to answer those for you. But yeah, so all that's being done. So the main thing is right now is to just please go in and get yourself set up on the VIP membership. Don't wait to do that. You don't want to miss out on 50% savings for life. Once you lock in, you're locked in, and you're going to be always getting that 50% savings. Again, I encourage you really to get the lifetime membership if you plan on saving for any amount of time, and then kind of go from there. And make sure to tell your team and get them active on here too, because it's they're definitely, some people don't always aren't reading emails and they're not seeing them, or they skim over it and they don't know that they're supposed to take action on it. So that's very, very important to make sure to physically talk to them if you need to, or text them or whatever to get them transitioned over, give them your link. So let's see here. Is the lifetime membership willable? The business is willable, so that would include the membership. So absolutely, that's a great question. That's the first time we've been asked that one. That's a really good one. Can you let people know whom have already signed up to check their status again? I'm maybe rephrase it a little bit, see if I can understand fully what you're saying for you there. To check their status again. You mean people who have already signed up on the new website, if they to make sure that they are set up on the new website and everything is rock and rolling, right? Yeah. We will be sending out emails again every day. We're sending out emails, so that'll be we're constantly addressing that on there. But again, not everybody is reading them, so that's why it's important. We got maybe half of the people transitioned over so far, but we got a lot to go in less than a week. So really, your guys' help will be super awesome on that, to get that all transitioned over. And if for some reason people are finished transitioning over in the next 8 days, then does that mean they're not gonna they're gonna lose their membership? No, we're just saying the 50% off promotion is running for the next for this month. We're gonna allow the old website to stay up and running for a couple more months. We got to give everybody plenty of time, to make that transition. And also another question that comes up is, what about my invoices and my previous orders, things like that? Unfortunately, because we're going from a fully custom coded site to a plug and play website, you're going to have to go in and download all of your stuff that you want to keep from either your income platform or your invoices and then if you can't download it for some reason, you can screenshot it and save it to a system that way. Because after we do close the site, again, we're going to give everybody a few months, plenty of time. But just in case, that information is going to be no longer accessible after a few months, and we'll be sending out plenty of notice to let you guys know about that as well. So, all right, I do appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys have any other questions or anything, please just reach out to us at support. We'll help you out. You can go to support@mintbuilder.com and we'll get you guys taken care of. Thank you guys so much for being on here. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again here real soon.